We are almost at the winter season, so it's the perfect time to jump into a new cozy survival game. WinterBurrow was developed by Pine Creek Games and published by Noodle Cake on November 12th, 2025. And they were kind enough to send us a key to the game so we could get an early look at it for this review. In it, you play as a mouse returning home from the big city to find their childhood home is in need of repairs. So you venture out to get the materials needed from the surrounding area like sticks, pebbles, mushrooms, and fur that can be used to craft an assortment of items and recipes. As you progress, you slowly learn how to craft new items that can help you gather material or furnish the burrow. With some of those items even unlocking the ability to clear rocks or vines in your path, allowing you to explore even further into the map to areas previously blocked off. But there's also quite a bit of life in this game with the different residents of the forest that you come across. Each with a distinct personality, they'll ask for your help and in return give you plans for more crafting to help you on your quest. With there being a central quest in this game, your auntie has been taken by an owl while trying to protect you. And then you had to find where she is, rescue her, and then help her regain her strength, with several of the woodland animals helping you along the way. What caught my attention most about this game was its storybook-like art that brings this world to life. The scratchy, hand-drawn designs for everything from the characters, backgrounds, and objects make the game look unique and stand out. It pops out immediately when you see it, and it kept reminding me of something. And then I found out the developers were inspired by the children's book, Wind of the Willows, which I can't help but see in this game now as I go through it. It's quite literally a playable story similar to that book, and it brings back a lot of nostalgic memories of that book as a result, especially when it comes to the different animals you come across and their designs and mannerisms, with my favorite being a squirrel named Gnawtusk that has a bad memory, with him hiding his spices and ingredients for tea in preparation for winter, but forgetting where he hid them, and asking for your help in order to find them with vague clues from what he can remember. Each time you come across a different animal, they'll ask for your help in finding different items they need and returning the favor. But make sure you're paying attention, because if you forget something, the game doesn't hold your hand in trying to remember. In the case of Gnawtusk, he will tell you he remembers leaving his stashes near a tiny home in a pine tree. But if you forget that and you go back to talk to him again, he just kinda says that he hopes that you can help find his stash of hidden herbs. And even the mission descriptions don't relay this information back to you. Which ironically, when I was trying to complete this mission, I ended up actually finishing the mission after it too, which left me even more confused when Gnawtusk asked me to check in another area, and all I can think was, wait, I already cleared that area and that's where I got this item from. There's a couple other missions that have the same thing, where you'll need to pay close attention to the dialogue to make sure you don't miss something. Because while this is a cozy exploration game, it does not hold your hand at all, which isn't always a bad thing. But the way that this game handles it sometimes feels counterintuitive to the exploration sometimes. Like the game features no kind of overworld map or mini-map that you can just use to help keep track of where you are, or where in general something might be that you need. It just kind of gives you tasks like collecting granite, but doesn't exactly tell you what granite's supposed to look like in the overworld or where you can find it. Which on its own wouldn't be a big problem, but combined with some of the other game mechanics can get rather annoying, as the game features different mechanics for your hunger and how cold you are that you need to stay aware of. As time progresses in the game, you need to eat in order to go from being hungry, and while exploring the wilderness, you'll get colder as a result of it being winter, which gives a nice frosted glass look to the outer bounds of the screen when it gets to a certain point, but you're going to need to find a place to heat up, with you being able to heat up at fires randomly spread across the game map, with areas that you can set some kindle on fire in order to create a campfire, or if you get to one of the areas with a friend, there will be a fire nearby to help heat you up as well. But you have no way of creating a fire wherever you are, and instead of being able to continue exploring further, you need to keep going back to prevent yourself from getting too cold, causing you to backtrack a lot in order to progress through the game, which does get exhausting. Even with a small map, there were times that I would fill up my bag with the items I needed for crafting, and since the only place you can drop off items for your storage is the burrow, I would have to start going all the way back to the burrow in order to drop off my stuff, or if it's getting too late at night, it'll get a lot colder faster. Which again puts you in a spot where you either need to find a preset campfire so you can sleep until morning, or walk all the way back to the burrow, in which case you better have a good memory of how you got to where you are. As again, there's no kinds of map or anything to tell you how to get back, although I will admit, there is a game mechanic that can help you with this, where everywhere you go you leave footprints for the travel you've done, and you can follow this path to go backwards. But in most cases, my exploration techniques when playing games like this can be described as uncontrollable chaos. So even when I would get to a point where those footprints would become helpful, they would be going in every other direction 2 or 3 times and basically be useless to figuring out which way I needed to go in order to retrace my steps. Which on their own, these game mechanics aren't bad, and are usually the kind of management mechanics that I enjoy seeing in games. but they're usually complemented with ways to be able to tackle them in the moment, or in a way that you can prepare to overcome them. There are some items you can craft in order to boost your cold resistance, but even then, there's only so much that you can do. And with WinterBurrow, while it is a survival game at its core, the better parts of it come from its exploration and crafting mechanics. And the survival aspect, in its current form, comes off as more of a hindrance to the game than something that adds to the mechanics and makes the game more fulfilling. Where the only way to overcome a lot of it is to backtrack all the way back to the burrow. Wait for yourself to heat up, unpack your bag for the materials you collected, and then go to bed until morning. Then try and venture back out to complete what you were doing. It just makes everything that you're doing come to a complete halt before you can go back to playing the game. Which for me got more annoying than anything, especially as the game expands and you can further explore the map. Which is a shame because the exploration part of this game is really fun. It's honestly what kept me invested in the game the most. Discovering new areas with a fantastic art style, with new residents, story, and areas to explore. So it was kind of a shame when some of the game mechanics seemed to pull you back from that. The game has a good length to it, with the game estimating about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay, and my playthrough was even a little beyond that to unlock all parts of the map and finish all the missions I came across. Granted, a lot of that time was spent wandering around and going back and forth on the map, either due to confusion on where it was supposed to go next, or because I had to keep going back to the burrow in order to empty my inventory or restock on healing items. With all that in mind, I give WinterBurrow a 3 out of 5. Like most cozy games, WinterBurrow is a very relaxed setting, though it does have some story-driven moments that will catch you off guard, with that story being a lot of fun to go through and having some really fun characters to run into. There's a lot of management you can do in the burrow, with decorating it however you like and exploring the woodland to gather materials, craft new objects and recipes. For people who like playing games with a heavy emphasis on exploration and survival management, you're probably going to enjoy this game, especially with its unique art style. For me, however, the lack of any kind of map and backtracking to overcome some of those survival mechanics in the game, it started to wear thin on me by the end. But I can definitely see where a lot of people looking at this game will get exactly what they want from this experience. But those are my thoughts on WinterBurrow, and I want to know what your thoughts are on the game. If you played it, do you agree with me, or did you have an entirely different experience? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this review and want to see more, click that like button and don't forget to subscribe. If you have suggestions for other games you think we should play, let us know as well. Until next time, this has been Brad with the Bickering Nerds.